Gemini Power, change your mind, change your life. Duality is not a weakness, it's a weapon. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Adaptability is your spiritual superpower. The mind is a battlefield, win there, and you win everywhere. 5. Silencing inner chaos unlocks divine clarity. Your communication shapes your creation. Every decision you make activates a different destiny. You were born to transform, not to stay the same. Introduction. There's a power hidden within you, a power that seems to shift, twist, and move at the speed of thought. It's the power of duality, of curiosity, of boundless intelligence. And if you've ever felt like you had two sides pulling you in different directions, congratulations, you're not broken. You're powerful. You are wired for transformation. And that, my friend, is the Gemini power that few understand and even fewer learn to master. You were never meant to be just one thing. You were meant to evolve, to flow, to adapt and ascend. But the very gift of your mind, the rapid thoughts, the inner dialogue, the questioning spirit can either propel you forward or chain you to confusion. The choice is yours. This isn't just astrology. This is activation. It's not about what day you were born. It's about who you choose to become every day you wake up. And here's the truth. If you don't channel the energy within you, it will scatter. If you don't direct your thoughts, they will direct you. If you don't master your duality, it will master you. This isn't about controlling who you are. It's about awakening to the truth that you have the mind of a creator. What you think, you become. What you believe, you live. What you speak, you manifest. This message is for the thinkers, the seekers, the restless dreamers who know they're called to more. If you've ever looked in the mirror and felt like two different versions of you are fighting to break free, this is your moment. Today you'll learn that your double nature is a divine setup for a double portion of purpose. You're not broken, you're built for something greater. And when you learn to change your mind, you will absolutely change your life. One, duality is not a weakness, it's a weapon. Most people spend their lives trying to hide the parts of themselves that don't seem to fit. One moment, you're confident, driven, and unstoppable. The next, you're uncertain, introspective, and hesitant. Society tells you to pick a lane, to be consistent, to find yourself and stay there. But what if I told you that your inconsistency is not a flaw, but a gift? This is the essence of Gemini power. You don't operate in one dimension. You are multi-layered, multi-minded, and multi-dimensional. While the world is flatlining in predictable patterns, you are pulsing with energy that can adapt, pivot, and transform at will. The very duality you've been told to suppress is actually your hidden arsenal. It means you see the world from more than one angle. You can think with logic and feel with intuition. You can lead and listen. You can be fire and water, voice and silence, bold and reflective. Here's the problem. Most people fear their own depth. When they see both light and shadow inside themselves, they assume something's wrong. But the truth is, every great leader, every great thinker, every revolutionary soul in history carried both parts, chaos and clarity, fear and faith, logic and emotion. The ones who changed the world weren't the ones who silenced one side. They were the ones who integrated both. They used their duality as fuel, not as friction. Think about it. How can you help someone through their pain if you've never visited your own? How can you speak life to others if you've never wrestled with your own death? Your ability to shift between inner worlds is not confusion, it's capacity. You don't have a split mind, you have a spacious one. You don't need to fix yourself, you need to focus yourself. This is where the weapon forms. When you stop resisting your duality and start embracing it, you unlock supernatural insight. You can analyze situations from every angle. You can create solutions others don't see. You can relate to people on a deeper level because you've lived on both sides of the spectrum. You're not boxed in, you're free. But that freedom only becomes powerful when it is channeled. And that's where most people fail. They let their duality become distraction. They bounce between moods, between goals, between callings, never realizing that the shifting is part of the shaping. You must decide to use both sides of your mind to build, not break. When your higher self aligns with your earthly self, when your spiritual mind works with your logical brain, now you have an unstoppable force, a divine fusion. That is Gemini power, the union of heaven and earth inside your mind. Stop trying to choose which version of you is right. They both are. The warrior and the healer, the introvert and the public speaker, the thinker and the doer, the version that cries out to God in secret and the version that walks boldly into rooms like they were born to lead them. That's the full picture. That's the full gift. And once you stop judging your duality, you can finally wield it. Your mind isn't at war, it's being trained. Every thought, every swing between strength and stillness is sharpening your edge. You are not broken. You are being built. And the very thing you thought disqualified you is what God will use to elevate you. When you learn how to live in that tension, to hold space for both sides of your soul, you don't just survive, you thrive. So the next time someone tells you you're too much, smile. Because too much is exactly what the world needs right now. Not bland, not balanced, but bold, brilliant, multifaceted thinkers who are not afraid of their own minds. That's who you are. That's Gemini power. And when you learn to channel it, there's no limit to who you can become. You are created with layers, sides, contrasts. In a world that glorifies consistency, you were wired for versatility. One moment you're driven by logic, the next you're moved by emotion. That's not confusion, it's capacity. Your duality allows you to relate, create, analyze, and empathize all at once. The very thing you thought disqualified you is what makes you dynamic. Stop trying to pick one version of yourself. Embrace both. That inner conflict, it's not your enemy, it's your edge. When you master your duality, you become unstoppable. 2. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Everything you see, touch, and experience began as a thought. Your outer life is simply a reflection of your inner world. If your mind is filled with doubt, your life will be built on limitations. But if your thoughts are rooted in belief, discipline, and vision, your reality will shift to match. The mind is not just a tool, it's the control center of your entire destiny. What you continually think, you eventually live. If you want to build a better life, start by building a better mindset. Adaptability is your spiritual superpower. Life will not stay the same. Seasons shift, relationships change, opportunities rise and fall, and while many break under the pressure of change, you were born with a grace to bend without breaking. Adaptability isn't giving up, it's growing up. It's adjusting your sails when the winds shift. It's your power to move forward even when the path changes. You don't need a perfect plan, you need a flexible mind and an unshakable faith. That's real strength, the ability to transform pain into power and setbacks into setups. The mind is a battlefield, win there and you win everywhere. The enemy doesn't need to ruin your life if he can just ruin your thoughts. Every war you face externally was first fought internally. Anxiety, insecurity, procrastination, these are battles of the mind. But when you learn to take authority over your thoughts, you begin to take authority over your life. The battle is not out there, it's in here. When you win the war in your head, you stop retreating and start advancing. Master the mental, and everything else follows. Silence, inner chaos, unlocks divine clarity. Your mind is loud. Ideas, doubts, fears, and distractions flood your thoughts constantly. But clarity doesn't come from doing more. It comes from stillness. There's power in pausing. When you quiet the noise, you finally hear the whisper of your true calling. God doesn't shout. He speaks in the silence. If you never stop moving, you'll miss the message. Don't mistake busyness for purpose. Peace is not found in the absence of problems. It's found in the presence of clarity. And clarity is born in silence. 6. Your communication shapes your creation. Words are not just sounds. They're seeds. What you speak over your life becomes the reality you live. You can either speak life or death, fear or faith, limitation or liberation. Most people curse their future with careless words, but when you begin to speak what you believe, not just what you feel, you shift atmospheres, speak with authority, speak with vision, speak with gratitude. You are framing your future with every sentence. If you want to change your life, change your language. Every decision you make activates a different destiny. Your future is not determined by fate, it's shaped by choices. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, purpose over comfort, progress over perfection, you activate a different outcome. Decisions are the hinges on which destinies swing. Stop waiting for life to happen to you. Start deciding the life you want. Every small intentional choice sends a signal to your future. So choose wisely, choose boldly, choose now. 8. You were born to transform, not to stay the same. Growth is your calling. You are not meant to remain who you were last year, last month, or even last week. Transformation is not just possible, it's necessary. Like a butterfly breaking out of a cocoon, you must shed old versions of yourself to rise into the new. Staying the same is not safe. It's spiritual suffocation. Every day is an invitation to evolve, to rise, to become. Stop fearing change and start embracing the truth. Your next level is on the other side of your last comfort zone. Conclusion: you are not bound by one identity. You are a masterpiece in motion, a soul shaped by thought, molded by energy, and moved by purpose. Your duality isn't a detour, it's the design. The first step is realizing that your ability to hold tension, to carry both ambition and sensitivity, is not your downfall, it's your divine advantage. Duality is not a weakness, it's a weapon. When you learn to harness your thoughts, you stop reacting and start creating. You're not a victim of circumstances, you're the architect of your future. That's why your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Think stronger, live higher. And when life throws you storms, remember that change is not your enemy, it's your invitation. Adaptability is your spiritual superpower, because the one who adjusts wins. Everything you experience in life starts in the battlefield of the mind. The mind is a battlefield, win there, and you win everywhere. You don't need to change the world to have peace. You need to change your thoughts, your language, and your focus. And when you silence the chaos, you can finally hear the whisper of your purpose. Silencing inner chaos unlocks divine clarity. Stillness isn't emptiness, it's power. What you speak, you give life to. Your communication shapes your creation. Stop speaking limitation. Speak alignment. Speak purpose. Speak destiny. And don't underestimate the ripple effect of one bold decision. Every decision you make activates a different destiny. One choice can shift your entire future. And above all, remember this: you were born to transform, not to stay the same. Evolution is your calling. Reinvention is your anointing. You're not finished. You're just beginning. Thank you for allowing this moment to be part of your awakening. Thank you for opening your heart to the truth of who you really are. Now go out there, not in fear, but in fire. Let your duality become your destiny. Let your mind become your miracle. Let your life become your legacy. Thank you, and never forget, when you change your mind, you change your life.